Hey everyone, it's Elsid932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Love is Blind Germany, the reunion. Before we get into it, please like, share, subscribe. Y'all are coming by, and I love it. Y'all are watching. Y'all are engaging with the lives, and I hope you do enjoy those. I'm going to try and do weekly lives and see how it goes. So let's get into this reunion. Love is Blind Germany, first of all, y'all had me hooked from the first episode. Y'all had me hooked going all the way through the vacations, all the way through these makeups and breakups. Now, lackluster weddings, and I'm sorry, lackluster reunion. I just gotta say it. I just gotta say it. The reunion ain't spicy. It ain't clearing up everything. There are other stories in the pods that have not been cleared up. And I'm like, what are we doing? Why aren't we clearing up everything else? What are y'all doing? I need y'all to go back and look at Love is Blind Argentina. Because they cleared up a whole lot of pod drama. They cleared up a whole lot of other stuff. Even a couple that didn't even make it all the way, they had them on. But you know what? Y'all had a beautiful set. It wasn't as bland as the wedding sets. Beautiful set. Everybody had, like long kind of lounge seats and a beautiful purple carpet in the middle. Everybody's in a semicircle. When we get to each section, I'm going to tell you what was missing for me. Okay? So we learn that it's 1 year later. Okay? Here's another thing. Oh my gosh. Don't give me a new episode every Friday and then turn around and want to give me the reunion on Sunday. I didn't even know the reunion was coming. I didn't know there was a reunion. I didn't know the reunion was coming. And I didn't know it was on Sunday. You could have given me the reunion on Friday. I was prepared for Friday. But I digress. I guess I need Netflix notifications, okay? So it's a year. It's 1 year. We see Alina and Ilias 1 year. How they're going with their marriage. Travels, trials, tribulations. They have 2 kids, as Alina said. They are 2 dogs. And Ilias really wants Alina to change her name. And she's, she said she's not going to. Her name is part of her identity. And, it'll be hard for her. Totally understand. Totally understand. So, Marcel and Jen. Now, y'all know I've been taking jabs. I've been taking jabs in these YouTube streets for Marcel. I'm going to keep on taking jabs for Marcel. I have not changed. Yes, Marcel has proven he could be snippy. Apparently what Jen is saying, he could be snippy. But they both say they're toxic for each other. Marcel said it first. They are not good for each other. What he learned is that he stays in toxic relationships too long. He needs to just go. And it may be because he just stays quiet. That's just my perception. So Jen said she felt like his words were judging her. And he felt he couldn't speak up because the words he said hurt her. Now, what I'm going to say to this is hypersensitive. They're both hypersensitive. Here's what I mean. They're talking. They're meeting for the first time. Anything he says, she's taking as judgment. Like her quote was, he said, "You're too kind. You're too kind to that person. You're too nice." That doesn't mean dim. Maybe you drill down further, what does he mean? Because that's not a criticism. That may be just situational. He may be telling you need to watch out for something. You're too kind. That person maybe does not deserve your kindness. And we're going to learn later, one of the people she was kind to seems like she woke up and didn't appreciate her kindness. We going to get there though. But Jen doesn't see it like that. She sees it as him editing her. Hypersensitive. So Marcel turns around and he says, "Well, since you really took everything personal," she's like, "Well, it's about me, so it's personal." Jen, calm down. See, you're still hypersensitive. So he said, "Since you were taking everything so personal, I kind of had to hush. I kind of stopped talking. Because if I say anything, you're going to take it as a criticism and you're going to take it negatively. And then that's going to affect the relationship." So he got quiet. And because she's not hearing him, she thinks it's something wrong. Yes, it's something wrong. But at what point, since y'all are new, learning each other, can y'all express different things? Can y'all express, hey, I really don't like you wearing that shirt, or I really don't like that cologne. There's something, off about it. It's not saying to you that you are bad. It's just saying this is my preference. That's it. You have to say your preferences. Y'all have to speak up. And both of you can't be hypersensitive. I mean, come on. Marcel, even Tolga told you got to buck it up for Jen. Jen, you can't take everything he says. He's not trying to criticize you to tear you down. I understand when you say too kind, everything could rub you the wrong way because he's new. He does not know you. If you say you're being too kind to that person, tell me more. What do you see that I don't see? Too many times we hear these things from a partner and it does hurt because that person is close to us and we love them. But sometimes we got to hear it. And it doesn't require us to do much other than listen. Because what he saw was you being too nice to someone. And that too nice was, and we're going to change over to, was Hanny. Go over to Hanny and Daniel. They spend too much time talking about Hanny's looks. Her looks, her wardrobe. We get flashes of every single outfit she had in the pods. This is too much. I didn't want to see Hanny's wardrobe for the pods. I didn't want to see and hear about what the internet is talking about Hanny's wardrobe. Too much. Golly, she is a beautiful girl. That's it. I did not need to get a whole collage of Hanny and how she looks. So Jen says that Hanny had a lot of negative things to say about Daniel. Ooh. And it just doesn't fit with what she had said on her vows and what she said at a reunion. How Daniel's such a good man, Savannah. How Daniel is great. How he taught her so much about herself. Blah, blah, blah. And guess what? Alina jumps in and co-signs. Yeah. Hanny ain't got nothing nice to say about Daniel either. So, who else chimes in? Ilias. Now, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on Ilias. Because the whole setup with Hanny for Ilias. So Ilias said he overheard a FaceTime conversation 3 months ago and heard her insulting Daniel. So Hanny pops up. Well, what did I say? What did I say? Ilias was ready. He said, yeah, you called him a loser and you called him a puppy dog. The host asked Daniel what he has to say. And Daniel says he trusts Hanny and it's hard to hear what the others have to say. Okay? But he says it's really troubling that it was only just 3 months ago that she was saying these negative things. At least what she was still saying negative things, at least what Ilias said. Ooh. So they replay the talks with Hanny and Ilias. They do the whole montage. Now that was appropriate. Okay? While this is playing, Ilias and Alina are gripping hands together on the couch. Daniel looks uncomfortable. Daniel is like his turtleneck was a little too tight. But one thing I noticed, if y'all remember the season, okay, Hanny started flirting with Ilias at the first couples mixer. The way she was sitting on the couch, yes, the purse was between them, but the hair and the talking to him, she was very flirty. It wasn't just happy-go-lucky. Because the way she greets Tolga and the others was not the same as greeting Ilias. Now this is before the covert mission for Alina. Before she was given permission. And remember, she jumped. She's like, hey, do you want me? When Alina said, yeah, I think the door is still open with him, as far as you're concerned. And Hanny's like, do you want me? Do you want me to go check and see if the door is open? Hanny was on it. Hanny wanted to be in it. And then Alina granted permission, saying, yeah, if you can. And then she did this stuff by the pool. But the mixer was the night before when she was like, talking and flicking the hair and sitting on the love seat with him. Hanny, that behavior is looking suspicious. So Alina at the reunion says she's not happy that Hanny didn't tell her all and only told her half truths. So they played some unseen footage, okay, of Hanny not really telling Alina what the conversation was at the mixer where all the old cast came back. The hostess pipes up and say, Hanny, it looked like you were really for real flirting with Ilias. Ilias said he knows he was wrong. He should have been more respectful of Alina and of Daniel. He said, but Henny was doing more than necessary to find out what he was thinking. Okay? She was seeking attention. And he was the person giving her attention. Y'all, Henny's face shut down. Henny was no longer smiling. The light, see the way Jen said she was dimming her light? Henny got dim. Henny got dim. Henny was staring at the ground. No expression on her face. Just looking at the ground. She was in shutdown mode. Y'all, the host asked Henny, why is it not enough with Daniel? Why wasn't it enough for you to say yes at the altar? Henny couldn't speak, y'all. Henny was crying. Tears started coming down. Henny was crying. They even had to go switch to another couple. They said, we're going to come back to you, Henny. We're going to let you, catch your breath. We're going to come back. And the couple they went to is Shella and Pascal. Shella said the breakup really hurt. She's hurt even now seeing him a year later. I'm like, girl, chuck it up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little heartless. I'm a little heartless to y'all. Girl, you knew the man for 2 weeks. Yes, you did love him, but it's been a year. It's been a year. He broke up with you. It still hurts? Whew, maybe I'm insensitive. Y'all tell me in the comments. I have not been through the past. Thank you. I have not. But I can't see that it still hurts to this day. Maybe she's just sensitive. Maybe I'll give her that. She's just sensitive. Pascal said he knew she had strong feelings for him, and that's why he chose her. I ain't hear Pascal say yet he had strong feelings for Shella. I ain't heard him yet. All he said was, she was my number one in the pods. Shella felt his letter meant that he was going to give them a chance. A chance? Here's Fabio saying, I want you, I need you. But Pascal's letter said he will give you a chance. And that's what you got, Shella, a chance. And guess what? Chance didn't work out. She said, hearing him say he didn't consider her his fiancée, that hurt. He didn't. The truth hurts. You can't have it both ways. He can't tell you the truth and it hurt, and then I would still hurt a year later. Shella! Ugh. Pascal says she's a fantastic person, and early on in Greece, he did not feel the sparks needed for love. Pascal, you could talk. He said he didn't want to go further and for her to develop even stronger feelings for him. Did not want to leave her at the altar. He wanted to just end it now rather than embarrass her by going through the whole process and embarrass himself, I'm sure. Shella appreciated that he ended things early. Didn't look like it on the day of, but I understand, girl. You were kind of blindsided. They both admitted that they're dating now. Pascal said he got a girlfriend. He kind of hedged and hewed and hawed around that. That girlfriend of his, she better watch out. I don't know. Okay? So, we go back to Hanny. Hanny's a little composed now. She's a little teary-eyed, but she's composed. Hanny says, people try to understand me and they fail. Then they criticize, and she no longer has the patience for that. Girl, them tears, staring down at the ground, shutting down, yeah, you got time for it. It still hurts. Okay? She then talks to Daniel, and she turns and faces him to say they had trust, and it would not have worked out any other way, with any other person. He's healed her so much and showed her she can just be herself. Daniel says they're not a couple, but they're more than friends, and they are there for each other. Sound like clapping buddies to me. Okay? That's what it sounds like. And Daniel, if that's the case, you got some self-esteem issues. Hanny don't want you. She said no at the altar, Daniel. Move on. Move it along. Now, Hanny, I'll address you because it ain't nothing else going on. Hanny, please let this be a reminder to all the Hanny like ladies, meaning the ladies who wish to go out there and gather information for the girlfriend or for their friend who happens to be the girlfriend, don't do it. Let her find out her truth herself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you turn into the villain. And that's the one thing I didn't like about this. It's like, Alina, you agreed for Hanny to go do this for you. Alina, you agreed that Hanny should get this mission. Hanny volunteered, yes, but you gave her the green light to go in. You co-signed it, Alina, and now you want to come and point at Hanny, and Ilias pointing at her, and Jen now too. It's like, Germany, what's up with girl code? It should have been Zoop. Y'all came here for a moment. Y'all came here to tear Hanny down, and I didn't like it. That's what it felt like, y'all. This is a this is a produced, translated show. I'm not sure that is their full intention, but for me, watching and reading below, it seemed like they ganged up and hey, like don't try, tell Daniel he all this, and now y'all embarrassing Daniel too. See, the one thing y'all doing with tearing down Hanny, y'all think she's the villain. Y'all tearing her down, you're also tearing Daniel down. You're tearing Daniel down. Not a good look at all. But Hanny, don't try these games anymore. Don't try these games because sometimes they turn it around on you and you end up being the villain when you were trying to help. Now, you also remember wanting to know if Daniel was jealous. So I know you were using it as permission to kind of test Daniel's jealousy. But the flirtiness, it happened before you were even asked to go in for that mission. That's all I got to say about it, Haney. But I just don't like all y'all taking digs at her. Come on now. Come on. It was enough. It was enough. So we move on to Sheila and Tolga. That's my problem right there. It's just Sheila and Tolga. Where's Hannah? Hannah! Where's Hannah? And going back to Pascal and Shella, where's Alberta and Fabio? But we don't get there. I'm going to go at the end and tell you everything I found missing at this reunion. So Sheila and Tolga. Sheila says everything went wrong when they got to Greece. She didn't know who he was. I was like, oh, like Marcel and Jen? Okay. She said when the cameras left, he said, she doesn't know what it means to be reduced to your looks. Hanny does understand, and that's why he and Hanny get along. She said she was all dolled up and made up and she felt insulted. Again, like Jen, hypersensitive. I understand, but you could have asked him, what does that mean? Do you not find me beautiful at this moment? Hypersensitive. Because for me, I understand what he's talking about. He and Hanny, it could be the fact that they both have light eyes. It could be that, just that. It could be down to the beautiful eyes. But you didn't ask him. You got straight into your feelings. And then he said that, oh my God, you don't know what it means to be reduced to your looks. That doesn't mean you're ugly. That means that people see something deeper within you. See, I would have seen that as a compliment. Because people see deeper with me. People see inside with me. They don't just look at the glossy exterior. They realize I have some depth. That's why I'm not reduced to looks. Because I'm not just looks. But again, it's all in how people take it. Okay? She was insulted because she felt she was her fabulous self and he was talking reckless. So she said, Tolga said Crete was painful. He seemed confident, but it was all a facade. He didn't want to show emotions and be vulnerable. Oh, I saw that in my recap. He said she was a different person because the levity he knew, of the pods were gone. And we learned from Tolga, the pods are in Sweden. So he said everything was tough. Sheila says hearing those things from him was tough. She's a strong woman and confident, and he realized he couldn't pull off his ish with her on the show, and because he couldn't do that, he lost interest. Tolga said that's not true. He apologized that if she felt insulted. Okay. Daniel speaks up and says Tolga is a good guy, but he makes mistakes like we all do. We understand that, Daniel. Tolga don't need no cheerleaders to fight his battles either. I'm sorry. Sheila says, y'all are good. He's a good bro to y'all, but he wasn't good to her. She relays a story that on a beach date they saw a sandcastle that a kid built, and he asked if he should destroy it. She said no, but he destroyed it anyway. Okay? She told herself she could not be with someone who had such little respect for others. Sheila, he did this from the very beginning when y'all walked into that hotel room. I said it in a recap. Sheila, he walked in and said the room was cheesy. And what did he do? He ruffled up and destroyed the towels on the bed. They had it designed into animal towels and had little flowers, and he just shook out the towel and said, He destroyed that. So how do you know how do you say, oh my God, I didn't think he would. Yes, he would. The simple animal towels annoyed him. He would. Now, Tolga says that it's because of the whole pressures of the situation. He doesn't handle that well, and that's why he was in destructive mode. That is where you got to watch him, Sheila. When he's in a mood, he destroys. You got to watch for that. I'll be side-eyeing him the whole time, okay? So she says she's a forgiving person and she accepted him as her fiance, and it was serious for her and to end things respectfully on camera. Okay? I don't know why this felt like Sheila came for a moment. It felt like Sheila came and she knew the only way to tear Tolga down was to be damsel in distress. I don't know why it felt performative. It felt performative. It's been a whole year and Sheila is acting like a shell of herself, and I felt like it was an act. It may not be. She may truly be. But I'm sorry. Something just didn't feel right. So the host asked Sheila if she could forgive him, and Shella interjects. Shella says, why did you try to contact Sheila? Tolga says the men can co-sign that he tried to contact her many times, but he didn't know how she'd react, and he didn't have the guts to really go forth and really trying to reach her. He said he wanted closure and to end things in a good way. I thought they ended things in a good way. Why do we need closure, Tolga? I thought y'all closed the conversation right there. Okay. So the host asked her about contact, and Sheila thinks that he only wanted to know what she would say at the reunion. He didn't try to contact her to clear the air to be good. He wanted to know what she would say. Okay? And to give himself peace of mind of what she would be coming with. So the host said, hey, we're not going to find common ground right here. Sheila said no. Host said, we're going to respect that. 2 different viewpoints on what went wrong. Yo, I saw it with Tolga. Tolga does seem a little, it was destructive. But again, I was catching a whole bunch of stuff there. In my recap and review, I said it when he destroyed those towels. I'm sorry. I clocked it. Sally and Medina. So Sally said he showed he loved her, but he couldn't say it. And she needed to hear the words. I totally understand. She said he had issues in his past that caused this for him. She said she could not say yes because marriage is important and they had a lot of hurdles to overcome. It's unfair to rush things and they needed time in the real world to make things work. That I understand. Especially since they had such a negative reveal. They had a huge bump in the road. I understand that. So Medina said if he, they were asked, if Medina was asked first, what would he say? If he asked first, would it be a no? He said it would be a no because it was only 6 weeks. It was only 6 weeks. He said, but they fit. So he kind of is torn. The time and they fit. So Sally said she doesn't know if she would have said yes if Medina went first and said yes. But she did feel like it was a yes. So the hosts talk about how the fans love him. Apparently, Sally and Medina are the darling couple of this season. I can understand. Now, here's where I got to apologize to Medina, okay? Because I talked about his wristband real bad several times. Several times I talk about that wristband and the quality of the gift. It turns out Medina's wristband was his dad's. His dad has passed away, and his dad was a religious person, and he wanted someone on the show religious. So it was, I guess, his dad's favorite wristband because his dad always wore it. And Medina said, the show said, bring a personal item, and that's what he brought. Okay? Understood. Understood, Medina. And I do apologize for that. There are other instances of gift giving, though. Okay? Not just a wristband. But Sally said they are very close and they were in a relationship, but not for long. They gave it a break because she needed space and they broke up. But they have a great friendship. Friend zone again, Medina. I'm sorry. You friend zoned again. Ooh, that's how Medina looked. I appreciate you cutting the hair. I did my live, and during my live, I didn't know the reunion was on, and I mentioned, Medina, cut your hair. I love your haircut. You looked very handsome. But I'm sorry, friend zone again. So Medina said he's good now, and the split was unexpected. Ouch! Oh my word, Sally! Unexpected again? Unexpected again? First the reveal, and now the... Oh, I'm feeling for Medina. He said it's tough because he thought they would make it. He doesn't understand and is heartbroken. And Sally's like, we have a bond. Ooh, friend zone. She has other needs, and this keeps her back from saying yes. So the host asked, could they get back together? Medina said, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And he's ready to learn a few things. Okay? So we turn to Alina. She has a surprise for Ilias. And her surprise is their wedding photo. And she decided to change her name and take his name. Okay? That is the end of the reunion. Now let me talk about this. That's the end of the recap. Here's what's missing from the reunion. Hannah, Fabio, Alberta. That's what's missing from the Love is Blind Germany reunion. Most Love is Blinds will bring in people who are not even in the couples, but had some drama in the backstage, so we could kind of talk and hash things out. Come on now. Come on. I wanted to hear Hannah if Hannah and Tolga ended up having a date. That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know what Hannah felt. I want to know what Sheila felt knowing that Hannah and Tolga lit up when they saw each other at that mixer. Fabio and Alberta, I would like Sheila to sit there and explain, why did you tell Alberta that Fabio was going to break up with you and that you were discussing it with him? That's what I'd like to know. Fabio, I'd like to know, hey, why did you say you fall in love? Do you fall in love quickly? Do you fall in love a lot? And why did you tell Alberta no? You closed the door yourself. Sheila didn't close it for you. She didn't close it all the way. She kind of closed it a little bit, and you slammed the door shut. Why did you tell Alberta no? You could never see yourself getting feelings for her like you did Sheila. And does he feel the same way about the age difference? There are questions for other people in the pods, and other Love is Blind reunions bring the people back. Come on, Germany. You started me way up here. I was excited. Everything was great. And then the weddings are blah. And then the reunion is blah. Come on. I was like, ooh, yes, the reunion. Let me watch. Y'all could have cut out the whole Hanny outfit stuff to talk about the other stuff in the pods. Come on. Y'all, tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know how you felt about the reunion, the scheduling. It's like they just threw it out there 2 days later, no notification. Let me know in the comments below. We'll talk about this for quite a while, I'm sure. Or maybe it'll just go away like blah. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.